he was a hang on a second, Janice. Hang on. Janice.
Hey Taylor, maybe take a second to fix your camera again.
Okay, I don't know why it's doing this. Sorry.
No, it's, what can you do? We don't. For any viewers, John wanted to use Skype, so this is new to us. Well, old to us, but whatever.
I'm talking.
Oh, I thought you were finished.
No, I haven't finished. Probably they've already left by now. It's been very boring so far.
Hello, everyone. Sorry about the interruption.
I don't know if they heard that. Probably not. All right, so now.
Okay. Sorry about the interruption, everyone.
No problem.
It's all
You're
good,
fine,
Janice.
Janice.
I don't know who this woman is. I just we'll figure it out later. So anyway, I knew it was not my neighbor who poisoned my dogs. God damn it, he had dogs. You tell me, people, what dog owner?
A few moments later.
Yes.
Okay,
Well, you
Talk
need
to you
to
later.
give Janice our best.
will do.
Thank you for coming on. We all right. Thank God. Thank God. All right, we're gonna switch over to Discord now because Skype is fucking atrocious, and only idiots use Skype. Idiots and crazy people. Crazy.
And we're back. PKA 493. So that was a thing.
That was a thing. So we all. Whenever
Anybody
we have
else stressed out?
Yeah.
so stressed.
Dude, I lost my
What's
appetite
happening?
even before the show. Before the show started, I was like, I'm hitting like, Taylor, please do your research on this guy. Like I last night on my live stream, I'm like, I was worried I'd be able to interview him well. I knew he'd be tough. I knew he'd be hard. I think we did all right. Getting him to tell his side of the Belize murder story was as great as you could do.
You're welcome.
I think we did a good
because
job. but also,
because
I
there
don't
is no
think any-
interviewing him. There's
Yeah,
no
I don't-
interviewing. He is like a boulder made of horse shit that you have to get rolling down a hill. Once it's rolling, you don't try to get between the horse shit and gravity. You just let it flow. You just let it flow. That guy has damaged his brain so severely. If you look, so we all do our research when we had these guests. I think it was clear last week when each of us had lots of background on our guest. And we knew the right questions to ask to get the best responses. I felt like we all did a very good job last week. This week, I think we were equally prepared. The only thing that I wanted to ask that I didn't was the fact that he met his wife, and she was a prostitute who propositioned him.
I wrote
and
that down too. Yeah.
I didn't want. She seemed so
Dude.
sweet. I didn't want to be like, so she's a whore, huh? I didn't want to do that.
If I had hours with him, I did. I wanted to. He said that he hasn't paid taxes since 2010, and he's the FBI's #1 target. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to interrupt the murder story to talk about taxes. This is a good opportunity to shut the fuck up. Let's take it. And
We were maybe 40 seconds into the pre-show when I joined, when I'm like, oh, this list of topics and questions for him is absolutely useless. There is no way that he's gonna, like Kyle's saying, we did our research on this guy. We did, but I don't think any of our questions had any bearing whatsoever on what he's
No,
I had
at all.
I had 3 topics written down. Favorite drugs, which you hit anyway. The murder in South America, which Kyle hit. And I guess he knew Jeffrey Epstein, but that wasn't on his Wikipedia page. It was from my Twitch chat. So it wasn't a top priority for me because, the Twitch chat tells me the 76ers are injured every night. It doesn't mean it doesn't mean a lot.
Yeah, I learned that Joe Rogan dies all the time.
Yeah, Joe Rogan's died. Yeah,
I had a lot of topics and questions, but like he was like in the pre-show, Taylor was like literally 2 minutes late. Not late to the show, but like late to like when McAfee got here.
the call was 2 minutes old.
Yeah, the call was 2 minutes old. He wasn't late, but McAfee was actually early. That's what happened. And in that period of time, McAfee had challenged me to a duel. And he was like, I was like, well, I think I actually challenged him to the duel. He brought up a duel, and I was like, well, yeah.
For some reason, he thought I was the smartest one on the call. I'm pretty sure it's because I need glasses.
Yeah.
He was like, well, I'm going to have a leather slip band holster and a Glock 17. And you have to use a button down
Snapback.
cowboy
snap cap holster with a 1911. And I'm just like, well, what? That's not how duels work. We use the same weapon. You get to pick the weapon type.
I'll tell you what.
Each of our setups.
He challenged us collectively to both a weed smoking competition and a duel. I don't think John did his research. He doesn't know who he's fucking with, Kyle.
I could beat John in the weed smoking contest and then kill him in the duel right after.
Yeah, the duel is really where he missed the mark. Like, you probably should know you're tremendous with a gun. And he seems actually, he's the kind of guy who might be pretty fucking good with a gun and you don't know.
Oh, I know he's very good with a gun. If you look at his history, every time he's arrested, it's like DUI and possession of a firearm while intoxicated. There's always a gun involved with each of his charges. It's like international water with high caliber weapons. So, wait, what?
Yeah,
he's clearly brain damaged. Honestly, he said he was in South America making all natural antibiotics. I think we know what his laboratory was really cranking out in Belize, right? Like that.
Something else, yeah. I read his Wikipedia, and I'm not sure everyone will take from it the same thing that I did at the pre-McAfee stuff. This guy wasn't just a computer programmer. He was like God's gift to computer programming. His resume, like a top guy at Xerox when Xerox was the king of computing at the time. Then he moved to NASA and Lockheed Martin, and he got a copy of a virus and decided to invent antivirus. McAfee antivirus was not a bullshit thing you wish didn't come with your computer back in the 70s or 80s. It was the only antivirus around.
Yeah.
It's very impressive.
Yeah, his list of accomplishments are he invented one of the very first IM programs, like
Powwow or
something
Powwow.
like that.
Powwow.
That's what I thought this interview was going to be like. So wow, Powwow. How did you come up with the idea for instant messaging over the computer? I mean, today we're on one of the leading programs that do that today. Skype.
Kyle,
right?
when did you think that's maybe not what the interview is going to be?
45 seconds after he joined the fucking phone call, and I realized he wasn't just doing a bit. I thought at first that he was being goofy and silly with us. But he said 3 times, he's like, you should have been recording this. And then he went on one of the, you guys got to hear 45 minutes of him ranting. He ranted from the moment he joined the call, and we told him we weren't recording.
Before the show starts, right? I look at everybody's cameras. I try to make our heads roughly the same size. I try to get everything right. John McAfee doing all this shit, right? He's moving around. He's got the McAfee dance cooking, and I'm like, well, fuck that. We're gonna get what you get on this.
We're going wide on McAfee. Go wide on McAfee.
You couldn't. His head was cut off a lot, but his head was cut off on the feed. There's nothing I can do about that.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
See, it was maybe, you're right. I didn't know because we were on Skype, and Skype's changed that I had to click into the call. I was still waiting for it, and I get a text from Kyle a few minutes before we're slated to start, and it just says, hurry up, get in here. He's on a weird manic rant. And it's I hop in there, and yeah, I didn't know if he was 100% sure we weren't recording yet.
He was
sure we did later.
We made sure he knew, and we explained it, and then he insulted us a few times.
Yes, yeah. So before the show, we talk for a few minutes, maybe set him up for success, and we don't record that. We've never recorded that. If someone's it's pretty rare someone says something that they wouldn't want to get out, but it never happens. And he's like, you're missing out because this is gold, and I was like, yeah, but we don't do that,
Yeah, we're not ready. And he's like, what are we waiting on? I'm like, the third guy. Fuck him, let's go.
That's about how.
I'm like, no, he's pretty good. We want him here. He's on the way.
3/3 of the show generally,
Jesus Christ.
You know what? I like him.
Yes.
That was an interesting guy, but
I
Nick,
didn't
have
like
you,
him.
No.
It was halfway into his stories.
I
where I'm
liked him as a
I have
guest.
no idea what's happening. Yeah, I mean, I
Oh.
like him as a guest, of course.
Yeah.
I don't like him as a human being. I couldn't stand to be in a
Well, that's
room
not
with him
good.
because I'll tell you what he reminds me of. If you've ever been around someone who's really drunk and you're really sober and you just wish they'd shut the fuck up, you're like tired of their silly Billy nonsense. Like he was like that. And maybe that was because he was actually drunk, because he actually has finished off a bottle of Jameson today. Or maybe that's all a big act. All I saw was a big empty bottle of Jameson. We've sat here and put away, like we've sat here and put bottles away, and we weren't that goofy. I made fun of a crippled man, but I didn't rock back and forth and talk about God being a trisexual.